My F37 and husband M40 had gone through a very long rough patch for 4 years. He went through some kind of identity crisis where he became extremely emotionally abusive. This time of crisis started in the middle of 2018. He refused to talk to me about any of his struggles and would get unreasonably angry if I suggested counseling. There was a lot of gaslighting and degrading from him. Every time we fought, he blamed me. There was never two sides for him. It was always my fault, and if I didn't admit it, then the arguments got really ugly. He had an emotional affair, but I'm not sure if there was ever anything physical. Even though he has some family members who are truly narcissists, I would never have put him into that category until he went through that 4-year period. He had extreme moments before that, but was a generally sweet and doting husband. So I started to save money to leave. I was almost at the amount I was aiming for when COVID hit. Because it put us in a bad financial situation, it drained all the money I had saved, and I had no one I could go stay with because my family was too nervous about the virus to take in me and my 2 children. So I stayed. There were a lot of ups and downs. There were some truly ugly situations, and I felt miserable. I had been planning on leaving as soon as I could save up the money again. However, something started to change in December of 2022. We had a huge heart-to-heart, and he seemed to vaguely acknowledge his wrongs, but also said part of the problem was he felt defeated since he could tell that I didn't truly forgive him. He said that if I could put the past behind me, we could both move forward together and start to heal. So I did, and it seemed to be working. I was cautiously, little by little, allowing myself to trust him again. There were moments his behavior would remind me of the past, but he would quickly acknowledge his mistakes and apologize. I was so impressed with his turnaround, I started planning a surprise getaway for us about 2 months ago that I wanted to take this upcoming Christmas. About a month ago, we got in a huge argument over something I said which he took the wrong way. I quickly apologized and tried to explain what I actually meant, but it got really ugly. It reminded me of those 4 years, but he was upset for about a week and then seemed fine. Considering all the hard work he had been putting into our relationship, I decided to just let this one go and not focus on it. But then this past weekend, we had a weird situation. I started feeling crummy on Friday night. I was achy and extremely tired. Sunday morning, I was still feeling pretty bad, and now had a low-grade fever. He was getting ready for his day. He was supposed to leave around 10 a.m. I was trying to see if I could make something of my day, so I was slowly wandering around the house tidying up. He kept making comments about wanting to touch an intimate area of mine. The first few times I laughed and said no. I assumed it was just him being flirtatious and said maybe when you get home later. Then he proceeded to say it several more times. This time I responded by saying I wasn't at all interested and that he knows I haven't been feeling good all weekend. The last time he said it and I said no, and that it is normally a sensitive area for me, but even more so when I am not at all in the mood. Then he tackled me to the bed, and I curled in a ball trying to prevent it. He got upset, got up, and said it was fine and that he needed to get ready to leave anyway. I was feeling very shaken, but told him we needed to talk about this. He said there was nothing to talk about, and then left. Later, when he got back, he was extremely smiley and was acting completely normal. I felt so confused that I barely spoke for the next couple of days. Tuesday night, I asked if we could talk. I told him how confused I felt, especially because I had communicated a boundary to him very clearly. He told me that he realized that but felt that it was not okay for me to set a physical boundary from him as his wife. He said he was intentionally getting more and more aggressive to make me realize how ridiculous I was being, but when he saw that I wasn't backing down, he stopped. He said he didn't want me to say something later about being forced when he wasn't even trying to have sex, just touch a particular area, and that as my husband, he should be allowed to. He thinks I am being crazy and overreacting. He also thinks I'm trying to start an argument and doesn't see anything wrong with his actions. He said that, as a husband and wife, we should want to do those things. He does usually grab my butt when he is walking by, and that does not bother me. I usually do this to him as well, but this felt different and made me nervous. I feel very confused and very numb. Am I overreacting? Am I ruining the good progress we have made? I can't seem to keep my head straight with this. Please help. Edit. I will also add that I used to have an extremely high libido. Since his crisis, my libido has been a lot lower. I'm just not as interested anymore. He also said that he felt the need to do this because I don't seem as interested in sex. If this helps at all, just thought it might be helpful.